Here comes the rain again. Kettle's as good as done, so I'll just have the coffee. But so this was the noise I'd be getting last night, so it's not the easiest thing to sleep through. Right, I'm not sure how well you can see this, but there's the map there. So this is Barra. That's where I came into yesterday, Castle Bay, and I didn't get very far, but I'm in the sheep pens here, and I can see there's a little disused house just there, and that is, oops, that's in there. And, it's still a wee bit windy, but it's now a beautiful morning, as you can see. There's Castle Bay across there. You can still see the ferry. I don't know if you can quite pick it out. Zoom in a wee bit. You can see it just below the hill there. And yeah, it's a rather lovely morning. There's the causeway just over there, and amongst that group of houses, that's where the causeway was. And I'll show you now in the sunlight. There's my neighbours up there. They came to camp last night, and there's my wee tent in amongst the sheep pens. He's been here separating sheep, and I suspect it's a concrete floor, and I'll have been sleeping on, I don't know, a couple of 100 years worth of sheep shit. David Knight, this is especially for you. You asked about seeing me go to the toilet. Well, you're not going to watch the full bodily function, but I've had my morning call, and underneath that wee pile of moss there is my little deposit, and I'm now going to cover it with that big rock, and that moss makes great toilet paper. There's a little tip. Leave no trace, they say. And just for the record, that's where I went for a swim last night, so I scrambled down just over those kind of seaweedy rocks and had a wee swim in there. It's a nice bay, but a bit brrr. Beautiful morning now. Still a bit of a wind, which I'm going to feel in a minute. I'm going to get on the bike. I've almost packed my tent up, and I'll be going pretty soon. Leave no trace, as they say, so just a bit of slight indent, a bit of flattened sheep shit there, but no other sign that I've been here other than a dump behind a rock over the back of here. Now these, I thought they were just sheep pens, but in fact it's something altogether more elaborate. It's a sheep dip, so quite a fancy one as well. My granddad had something similar, but this one, you know, it's all concrete, quite elaborate. So what you do is you drive the sheepies. They'd come in here, they'd all be separated on these pens up here, they'd be driven in, and they'd get to here, poor old sheepy, and they wouldn't know what to do. The farmer would either throw the sheep in, or the sheep would just jump straight in. Now if it jumped as far as these steps here, there'd be a shepherd on either side, maybe just one, who would have a crook or something to dunk the sheep's head into the water, and then old sheepy would clamber out, and then work its way out through here, and that then would be free, and she would be flea free for the summer, so no maggots. That's the worst thing for the sheep, getting the maggots in them. Anyway, so it's a sheep dip, not just pens, but it was a nice bed for me for the night, because my neighbours are still not up yet, lazy bastards. Anyway, there we go. Lovely morning now. Okay, how about this as a beach? So I'm still on Vatersay. This is where I finished up to come. Still on the beach, basically, on the western side as well. So it's a spit of land. Two beautiful beaches. Be a little more accessible to the water. But hey ho, isn't it? The big hill for Barra, I'm sure it's got a name, I can't think what it is, but Castle Bay just below that. So this is a lovely little sheltered bay, and obviously they still go out and put the beach supports. There's quite a few noise out there. But let's see. Here's this beach on the other side. Here it is. On to the this road for cyclists. It's like the M6. Why could they not just fucking leave it to me? So, surprise, surprise, a wee bit more rain, but fortunately there's a bus shelter in the middle of nowhere. But you can see out there, that's where the wind's coming from, and you can see the sea's quite wild. And so this time I've come back on the road as opposed to going across a bog. And I don't know if you can see just behind these houses there, that's where the causeway is back to Barra. That's Barra there. So I'll be on my way in a minute. Well, over a minute once this bit of wind and rain's passed. Well, I don't think the wind's going to pass through. Another beautiful beach. This is on the southwest coast of Barra. I'm almost tempted to go for a swim here and get my Barra swim in. But I also feel I should swim cycle a wee bit more. Barra is a series of beautiful beaches. This is, well, certainly Barra on the west coast. I think the east coast is a wee bit rockier. The weather obviously comes in from the west. But yeah, it's beautiful. Again, still very tempted to get in and go for a swim there. But I'll do that later. Yes. Here's Barra Airport. No planes coming in, but it has the beach as the runway. I think, I'm not sure, but I'm positive about this, but I think this is the only airport in the world that has scheduled flights that land on the beach. I think there's other places that people land on beaches, but this is a scheduled flight, so you can get a flight from Hebridean to here, and certainly from Glasgow. It's also a lovely spot. Beautiful. Right, I'm at Barra ferry terminal, and as you can see, I've got my shirt off. Well, I got everything off, other than some shorts, and I'm going to go for a swim just off. That's where the ferry takes off from. Launches from down there. So I'm going to have a little walk and a quick dip. There you go. That was bracing. A bit longer than last night, so that was good. And the luxury of being able to dive off the jetty instead of wading in, which is always a bit painful. So you just get on and get it done. And I've got a nice wee spot. I don't know if you can just see it behind me. That's where I stripped off. Thankfully no one about, but it's out of the wind and I should be able to dry. And I've got my little solar panel there, which is charging up, so I might be able to get a bit of juice for my phone as well. A rare sight of sun at the moment. And then I can have some lunch. And I've got to wait now until 20 to 4 for the next ferry, so I might go, well, I might just sit and contemplate my life here on the, or go for a wee cycle, but certainly I'll have some lunch and dry off. What are you cycling for? Okay, I'm on Vatersay. It's a wee bit damp again, but I've got a little place to put the tent up, so that's it just in behind me. Got a wee bit of shelter. Hope it's going to be a bit more sheltered than last night. And Vatersay is very small, but as I said, I want to swim on every island. So look, I've got my own private tiny little beach here. That'll be perfect. I can nip in for a swim, and I'll probably just get straight into my sleeping bag because I think getting warm and dry in this kind of weather is going to be pretty hard. But anyway, I'm going to get the tent up
and get on with it.
Right, the tent's up. You can hear, surprise, surprise, it's raining. Got my kit off and I'm about to go for a swim. There's the water. So I'm hoping by the time I get down there, I'll be that cold that I don't know how cold the water is. Anyway, right.
Fucking hell, man.
It's fucking freezing. But nice, in a bit longer, and that was a lovely wee bay. But I'm cold, and I better dry myself off and try and get warmed up.